Okay, this particular video clip is to show what can be done when contaminated glass is encountered. This particular section of the glass here has been contaminated with a water dispersant, and let's for argument's sake one now needs to prepare this piece of glass to a state whereby it has suitable adhesive properties or comparable to a side which was properly or is a proper clean surface of glass to stick something to. So again, we will do the simple test of water. As can be seen, the water tends to flat out on this piece of glass, whereas on this piece of glass the water tends to form these high little beads as they drop. Again, this indicates a high surface energy in the glass, and this indicates a low surface energy on the glass. So what we are going to try and do by the time we finish is to achieve this same kind of result on this particular side. Right, so let's throw the proverbial kitchen sink at it, shall we? Right, so water obviously makes, you can rub it with water, and if we put a drop of water, it's pretty much the same. Alright, so water doesn't remove this particular contaminant. So let's then try something else. So let's say, for example, some good old soap and water. So actually, let's try this first. Let's try our standard cleaning solution, ISA mix. Put some on there, and let's see. And we clean, and we clean, and we clean. And somehow, of what I see going on, I don't hold out much hope for it, but let's turn it over to the other side some. Make sure we're not just spreading it around, but we're actually trying to clean it. Do some of this. Okay, now let's see here. That looks, visually it looks good. Let's take our little bit of distilled water and drop some on, and we go, oh no, it's still not comparable to the other side. So right, back to the drawing board then. So let's now try, for example, a little bit of soap maybe will, are you still filming? Yes, right. A little bit of soap maybe might do the trick. So put a bit of soap on there, and let's give it a good clean with some soap and water. Soap free, so we put a little bit of water on it just anyway, and it still looks like it's not cooperating. Alright, so let's try something else. What comes to mind is that there is some kind of a mechanical removal method required in order to remove these energy absorbing particles from within the micro fractures on the surface of the glass. So what works quite well is steel wool. Steel wool, on the Mohs scale of hardness of materials, is softer than the surface of toughened glass, which means that in theory it should not be able to scratch the glass because the glass is harder than the steel wool itself. So we will take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and mechanically impart some cleaning on the surface of the glass. And let's see what happens. It definitely feels as if the steel wool slides comfortably over the surface of the glass without too much trouble. let's see if that's improved our situation. Still, it's getting slightly better, but it looks to me as if it needs a little bit of further cleaning. So let's repeat the previous steps and see if we can get a result. Obviously these contaminants, when encountered on an emergency exit window that needs to be equipped with a suitable device, it would be important to be able to clean the glass to a suitable level of adhesibility. Alright, let's take the steel wool again and we repeat. An improvement in the surface energy. It's showing signs of improvement, yet not quite as energized as the alternative. What we will do next is we can use some soap and water and an abrasive medium. And this demonstrates the importance of testing the surface prior to assuming, just because it's visually clean, that the surface is in fact suitable. Now this treatment coating that's been on here has now been washed a number of times with a number of different materials. Well, now we can try a little bit of soap and our trusty steel wool. It looks to me as if we might be getting somewhere. Let's just dry off this water. There's still some surfactant on the glass at that stage, which might give us will give us an incorrect reading. So let's make sure that the glass is properly cleaned. All soap is removed. Take the thoroughness to this time. Whoa, that looks very much different now. So mechanical abrasion of the surface of the glass. There's really little soap left in this. It does not scratch the surface of the glass due to steel being softer than glass on the Mohs hardness scale of materials, and it certainly ensures a really excellent bond. One more time, just to make sure that there's no soap to contaminate our result. Okay, and if we then take our distilled water, bingo, this is a very good adhesible surface, and in fact when compared to the one next door, even slightly better. So what we'll do now is we will attach a safety punch device to this side, but I think one can predict what the outcome will be with a surface that indicates such preparedness to accept adhesive. All right. Then we will press the device down, same batch, same glue, for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3. 18, 19, 20. And as in our previous demonstration, I will attempt to remove it, although it's just been stuck to the glass. Normally 72 hours of wet out time should be provided for. All right, let's try. Yeah. And this one. Now, this is an interesting outcome to note. As can be seen, some of the glue has remained stuck to the device, and some of the glue has remained stuck to the glass. This is how the performance of a successful adhesive looks, where you would have transfer of components of adhesive between both surfaces. So this is as strong as the bond can be made, and in this instance we have a equally comparable bond. Right, and this just also has not been allowed to wet out for 72 hours. So this is immediately after tacking. The bond, in fact, becomes a lot stronger, almost double as strong after 72 hours.